The night had swallowed the last lights of Eureka, Nevada. A lonely interstate bus raced across the empty stretch of US Route 50. Only a few passengers remained inside. One of them was Ethan Carter. After months of searching, he had finally found a job, a night shift, at a forgotten gas station far from the nearest town. The pay was better than anything else he had found. He could not afford to refuse. As the bus rolled through the endless darkness, Ethan pulled out his phone. He called his best friend Tyler Morgan. "Did you get the scholarship number?" "Someone else got it. I am 3 months behind on rent. My mom's medical bills keep getting worse. I had no choice, so I took the job. I will study during the day and work every night." Tyler stayed quiet. "Which gas station?" "Black Ridge Fuel Station, on US Route 50. Tyler took a deep breath. "Ethan, I told you not to work there. That place is wrong. It is too far from everything." "I know, but I need the money. If anything strange happens, call me. I will stay awake all night." "Thanks, brother." A few minutes later, the bus slowed down. Its doors opened. Ethan stepped onto the empty roadside. The bus pulled away. Within seconds, its lights vanished into the darkness. Ethan was completely alone. A cold wind rushed across the empty highway. The only building in sight was Black Ridge Fuel Station. Its old neon sign flickered above the entrance. Ethan walked toward the office. His phone started ringing. It was Daniel Brooks. "You made it." "Yes, sir." "Good. You have the key." "Yes." "Unlock the office. Walk inside. There is a desk on the left. Open the top drawer. You will find an old red notebook. Read every word inside. Do not skip anything. I am turning my phone off after this call. Whatever happens tonight, follow every rule exactly as it is written. Do not ignore even one. Good luck, Ethan." The call ended. Ethan stood frozen for a moment. Then he pulled the key from his pocket. The old lock clicked open. The office smelled like dust and old gasoline. He switched on the light. The room was empty. Only one wooden desk stood against the wall. Ethan slowly opened the top drawer. Inside, an old red notebook was waiting for him. Ethan slowly picked up the notebook. The cover was faded. The pages looked older than the building itself. He opened the first page. Only one sentence was written at the top. "Rules for the night shift." A chill ran through his body. He turned the page. "Rule 1. Never ask any customer where they are going. Fill the tank. Take the payment. Say nothing else. Rule 2. If a vehicle arrives without its headlights, never ask the driver to turn them on. Finish your job and walk away. Rule 3. If the money feels colder than ice, place it inside the old metal cash box. Never put it inside the new register." Ethan slowly looked up. An old rusted metal box was sitting beside the cash register. His heartbeat became faster. He turned another page. The next rule made him stop breathing. Rule 4. After 3 in the morning, lock every door. Close every window. Cover every curtain. Do not look outside. Do not answer anyone, no matter what you hear. Ethan swallowed hard. His hands were shaking. He turned to the final page. Rule 5. If you hear a car horn after 3, it means you have already broken a rule. There will be nothing left to save you. Ethan stared at the words. His heart pounded against his chest. He quickly shut the notebook. He placed it back inside the drawer. The room suddenly felt colder. The silence became unbearable. Without thinking, he grabbed his phone and called Tyler Morgan. Rule 4. After 3 in the morning, lock every door. Close every window. Cover every curtain. Do not look outside. Do not answer anyone, no matter what you hear. Ethan swallowed hard. His hands were shaking. He turned to the final page. Rule 5. If you hear a car horn after 3, it means you have already broken a rule. There will be nothing left to save you. Ethan stared at the words. His heart pounded against his chest. He quickly shut the notebook. He placed it back inside the drawer. The room suddenly felt colder. The silence became unbearable. Without thinking, he grabbed his phone and called Tyler Morgan. The phone rang twice. Tyler answered. "You already sound scared. There is something wrong with this place. The manager left me a notebook. It is full of strange rules." Ethan read every rule out loud. Silence filled the call. Then Tyler finally spoke. "Now I understand. That is why I warned you. People avoid this highway after dark. Too many stories have come from this road. Stories that never made sense. Missing drivers, strange lights, cars that vanish without a trace. You think this place is haunted? I do not know. But if those rules exist, someone wrote them for a reason. Just stay alert. Do not break any of them." Before Ethan could answer, the neon lights outside began to flicker. Once, then again, the entire station was swallowed by an uneasy silence. Ethan slowly turned toward the front window. The neon sign kept flashing. The light grew weaker with every second. Then, out of the darkness, a black sedan appeared. It moved without making a sound. Its headlights were off. The car stopped beside the fuel pump. Ethan felt his stomach tighten. Rule 2. Never ask the driver to turn the headlights on. He took a deep breath, then walked outside. The cold night air wrapped around him. Every step felt heavier than the last. He stopped beside the driver's window. A low voice came from inside. Fill the tank. Ethan could not see who was speaking. The windows were too dark. The inside of the car was completely black. Without saying a word, he reached for the fuel nozzle. The fuel began flowing into the tank. The silence felt heavier than the night. Ethan kept his eyes on the pump. He refused to look inside the car. Then the voice spoke again. Where does this road end? The question echoed in his mind. Rule 1. Never talk about the destination. Never ask. Never answer. Ethan stayed silent. The pump finally stopped. The screen showed $500. He stepped closer to the window. Your total is $500. The window slowly rolled down. A pale hand reached out. It was nothing but bones. No skin, no flesh, only a lifeless skeleton hand. Old dollar bills rested between its fingers. Ethan could not breathe. His hands trembled as he reached for the money. The bills felt colder than ice. The window closed. The black sedan pulled away. Within seconds, it disappeared into the darkness. Ethan ran back inside the office. His hands would not stop shaking. He remembered Rule 3. He opened the old metal cash box, then dropped the frozen bills inside. The lid slammed shut. He grabbed a bottle of water. His breathing became faster. Half the bottle was gone in seconds. He rushed into the small restroom. Cold water splashed across his face. He looked up. Something caught his eye. An old newspaper rested on a dusty shelf. The paper was yellow with age. The date read, October 1998. The front page showed a terrible highway crash. A late-night bus. Several cars. Dozens of people. No survivors. The location was the same stretch of US Route 50, just outside Black Ridge Fuel Station. Ethan felt a chill crawl across his back. Why would someone keep this here? What really happened on this road that night? Ethan grabbed his phone. He called Tyler again. Tyler answered on the first ring. Something happened. A car came here. The driver paid me with money that felt like ice. I followed the rule. Then I found an old newspaper. There was a deadly crash here years ago. Nobody survived. Tyler stayed silent. Then he spoke in a lower voice. I searched that place before. People say everyone who died on that highway still returns every night. They never realized they were dead. They keep driving the same road forever. Ethan looked at the clock. Only a few minutes remained before 3. He locked the front door, then checked it again. He closed every window. He pulled every curtain shut. The office became completely sealed. He sat down with the newspaper in his hands. His eyes never left the clock. The second hand kept moving. Closer, closer, closer. Then, the clock reached 3. The office lights began to flicker. Once, twice, again. Then everything went dark. The silence lasted only a second. Engines filled the night, one after another. Cars rolled into the station. Doors opened. Voices echoed outside. Men, women, children. They laughed. They talked. It sounded like dozens of people had arrived. Ethan held his breath. His heart pounded against his chest. The rules echoed inside his mind. Do not look outside. Do not open the door. Do not move. The voices grew louder. They sounded only a few feet away. Someone laughed beside the window. Someone walked past the office. Then, everything became silent. A silence so deep, it felt even worse than the noise before. Ethan could not control his curiosity. He stepped closer to the window. His hand slowly reached for the curtain. His fingers stopped for a moment. Then he pulled it back just enough to see outside. The station was covered in darkness. Dozens of figures stood around the fuel pumps. None of them looked human. Their bodies were nothing but living shadows. Only their glowing green eyes could be seen. They stood completely still, as if they were waiting for something. Ethan froze. His heart nearly stopped. Then, the same black sedan returned. Its headlights were still off. It rolled to the same fuel pump. Without warning, the horn blasted through the night. Once, then again, then again. Every shadow stopped moving. Every glowing eye turned toward the office, toward Ethan. He knew at that moment. He had broken the rule. Every shadow drifted toward the office. None of them walked. They floated above the ground. The horn finally stopped. A second later, something slammed against the front door. The whole office shook. Another impact hit the door. Then another. The walls trembled. The windows rattled. Ethan backed away. His legs felt weak. His hands would not stop shaking. The pounding grew louder, harder, faster. The old lock creaked. It sounded like the door would break at any moment. Ethan pulled out his phone. To miss calls from Tyler Morgan. He pressed call without thinking. The phone rang once. Someone answered. Fill the tank. The same cold voice. The same empty voice. Fill the tank. Fill the tank. Fill the tank. Ethan stared at the phone. His blood turned cold. Then everything around him went black. Warm sunlight touched Ethan's face. His eyes slowly opened. The pounding was gone. The voices were gone. The office was silent. Broken chairs lay across the floor. Papers covered every corner. It looked as if a storm had torn through the room. Ethan slowly walked outside. The station was empty. No cars, no shadows, no signs that anyone had ever been there. He walked toward the fuel pump. Something caught his attention. A single car key rested on the ground. It was old. Rust covered most of it. Ethan picked it up. A strange feeling rushed through his body. He slipped the key into his pocket. Just then, a truck pulled into the station. Daniel Brooks stepped out. "Good morning, Ethan. Congratulations. Most people never survive their first night. You did." Ethan stared at him. What really happened here? Daniel looked at the old key. His smile slowly disappeared. Daniel took the key from Ethan's hand. "Where did you find this?" "Near the fuel pump." Daniel closed his eyes. "Then you looked outside, didn't you?" Ethan lowered his head. "Yes, only for a second." Daniel sighed. "That almost got you killed. I do not understand. Who were they?" Daniel placed the key on the desk. "Years ago, a terrible crash happened on this highway. A bus, several cars. No one survived. Every person who died keeps returning here every single night. They still believe they are traveling home. They stop here, fill their tanks, pay with the same old money, then continue a journey that never ends. The rules exist for one reason, to stop them from remembering the truth. If they realize they are dead, they become dangerous." Ethan looked at the old key. "Then why did someone leave this behind?" Daniel looked at the key for a long time. "Because one of them finally remembered. And when that happens, their journey ends forever." Ethan stood without saying a word. His eyes never left the old key. "Then why am I still alive?" Daniel looked toward the empty highway. "Because one of them chose to save you. Not every soul wants revenge. Some only want peace." That key was their final goodbye. They no longer need it. The station fell silent. Daniel placed twice the usual cash on the desk. "You earned this. You can leave today. No one will blame you." Ethan looked at the money, then looked back at the highway. He thought about the rent, his mother's hospital bills, the life waiting for him outside. He slowly pushed the money back toward Daniel. "I will be here again tonight." Daniel looked surprised. "After everything you saw, you still want this job?" Ethan gave a tired smile. "Some people wait for hope. Some people wait for peace. Tonight, someone out there will still be waiting. And I cannot walk away from that." Daniel said nothing. He simply handed Ethan the office key. Outside, the sun was shining, but far down Route 50, something was already waiting for night to return. Night returned. The sky turned black once again. Ethan unlocked the office. Everything looked exactly the same. The old desk, the red notebook, the rusted cash box. Nothing had changed. He switched on the lights, then placed the notebook beside the register. This time, he knew every rule by heart. His phone vibrated. A message from Tyler Morgan. "Please tell me you never went back." Ethan looked toward the empty highway, then typed only 3 words. "I am here." He locked his phone. Outside, a cold wind swept across the station. The neon sign flickered. Somewhere deep inside the darkness, an engine started. Another night had begun. Another journey was about to repeat. But this time, Ethan was no longer waiting for fear. He was waiting for them. The end. So this was the story. I hope you enjoyed it. Follow Nightmare Files for more true horror.